And we are live.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Now, you got the right shirt on today, Tanya Cash. Think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to try to do today. Think happy thoughts. Traffic was crazy today. And
Right.
anybody that knows me knows I hate traffic absolutely 185%. Well, I'm officially a year older. I done completed another lap around the sun.
Happy birthday.
In full effect. Now I'm officially an old man, y'all. I didn't do anything for my birthday. They had a few parties for me, a few things, and I did not go to any of them. I stayed home and I played 2K, double rec, double rep all day. Now I ain't gonna lie, felt kind of good.
Okay. So happy belated birthday. And you said you did absolutely nothing. Now, is it because you just wanted to just chill? Or have you always been not a big birthday?
Like has everybody has realized I have been working nonstop. A lot of people have been leaving comments and sending me messages about how sleepy I've been looking these past couple of weeks. I'll let you guys know. I'm not sleepy. I'm high as hell. Now, my eyes are low. If they're not low, then send out SOSs for me. You know what I'm saying? That's where you can send out some SOSs. But because I've been moving nonstop, I decided to chill out this year. Just relax and take it easy. Now, I did tell you one thing though. I can't say this. Although I was chilling, I couldn't stay on social media and get caught up in the greatest, possibly the greatest comment that I've seen in a long time, made by one rapper, DDG. Did you see that comment that had the internet going haywire this week?
No, please catch me up.
Well, let me break you up with young rapper DDG said.
Mhm.
Today's rappers are 10 times better than the rappers
Oh yeah, I did
in the day.
see that.
Respectfully.
I saw that on.
Now, he asked the simple question. Y'all are not bumping 90s rap music right now. Now,
I am
Tanya Cash,
too legit. Too legit, too legit.
you know what? Cut it out. Because
It's on my playlist. I'll show you my playlist. You know what I was also listening
if
to?
there's anybody that I believe, it's you. I mean, for you to sit up there and just bust out an MC Hammer rhyme and a Michael Jackson cameo, that was pretty amazing. I remember where I was when Too Legit premiered right after In Living Color.
I also was playing the dip song. You put your hand up on my hip. When I dip you
Oh, so
put
you
your
was
hand up
in
on my hip.
you
That
was in full blown party mode.
hand up on your hip. Yeah. And the Tootsie Roll. And I've been listening to some Luke. Okay, all right. That's just me though. All right.
All right, so that furthermore proves DDG right because that's what you've been listening to. I didn't hear any Scarface in there. I didn't hear um any of these 90s rappers like KRS-One. I didn't hear any Method Man, Redman up in there.
I wasn't a big fan.
I didn't hear no Wu-Tang. I didn't hear I could go on and on. I mean, let's just be real here. The only 90s rapper that we still get a pass to that's still making it relevant is Jigga Jigga, our nigga Jigga.
And
Other than Jigga, who else from the 90s? And I really count Jay-Z as an 80s rapper as well. But who else from the 90s are we still listening to today?
Juicy J. Snoop.
Juicy J is, yes, a old rapper who has found a way to reinvent himself to today's current lane.
Snoop.
Snoop is another rapper who has found a way to mold himself in today's game, but has branded himself to where his music does not have to reflect. It's more so his image.
Yeah, but he still,
I mean, because we ain't bumping no Snoop Dogg. We just love Uncle Snoop.
you'd be surprised.
I mean, if Gin and Juice come on the radio, we probably won't turn it off.
I pulled up with somebody the other day and they was bumping the hell out of some DMX, man. They was rocking like shit.
DMX just passed. DMX just passed, so he
No,
just
he
passed.
passed a while ago. I'm
But
talking about
DMX
like this.
is a 2000. DMX is a 2000s rapper.
Uh,
I went on to say, and
I
I want all my heads to get into this here. I went on further to say that DDG was being nice because actually it's way more than 10 times better. Today's rappers are at least 50 times better, if not 100 times better than the artists of the 1990s. Now, I like to do what I like to do, right? I don't like to just spew out my stuff without breaking it down. I mean, if you're asking lyrical content, well, lyrically, these artists are better today lyrically than they were back in the day. I mean, yeah, back in the day, you guys told vicious stories, great stories. But I mean, it was so anybody, whatever, whoever could get it, right? They all understood it. I mean, F the police, F the police. We get it. Big deal. Fight the power. We get it. You're talking about fighting against the government. Even Brenda's Got a Baby, if y'all want to name those records like that. But let's just be real now. They have come up with 50 different ways to say F the police, 50 different ways to say fight the power. And that is happening in today's real time. Now, what we're gonna we don't want to talk about sales because y'all always seem to argue the sales argument. But let's just be blunt here. Hip hop now, rap music now, trap music is the number one genre in the US of A. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it's because more people like trap music as opposed to hip hop music. I am gonna say is now the whole world is finally accepting of rappers and rap music. Y'all want to know why? Well, because it got a little melodic, it got a little safe, it got a little cool, it got a little white men and white women getting in their cars, making videos on TikToks, really trying to emulate this at a mass time high. Everyone's dressing like the biggest rapper they know. And if you guys say you're not dressing like rappers, it's okay. It's okay. You are dressing like rappers. So at the end of the day now, the most hated job in the world is an indie rapper. Everybody hates an indie rapper. But yet the most upcoming thing now, everyone wants to be an indie rapper. Rappers at an all-time high because of today's rappers.
let me jump in there and just actually go
Jump
back.
in.
Yeah, let me jump in and back up on what I said. So when you say 90s rappers, okay, he's right. Yes, today's rappers, I would say, are 10 times better than the rappers in the 90s. But not the 2000s.
But the thing about it is, this is what I tried to break down to Tiff, right? And for y'all to know, Tiff is the wife. The 2000 rappers are today's rappers. They're the leaders. I mean, you got Jay-Z, Kanye West, you got Ross still doing his thing. You got I mean, like they're all now the leaders. Lil Wayne, these guys are all like the bosses now that are out finding these new talents and are co-signing these new talents and bringing them on up. I mean, listen, don't get mad because the '90s rappers did not do anything. Listen, besides rap to push the culture forward, they pushed themselves forward a lot. But let's just be real, people. The front lines with rappers really been on the front line fighting to break down the genre barriers, fighting to break down the how much artists are going to be making, how much artists should be getting, percentages, rights, and stuff like that. That is today's artists that made that happen. The reason why all you artists walk around now saying you don't want to deal and you can be free to do whatever you want to do and you this new freedom of dropping records whenever you want to drop them. That's because of today's rappers, today's artists. So now we're talking that's empowerment. That's empowerment. That's already that. Now let's not even talk about the business. I mean, if we want to talk business wise, it's not our fault that we're in a streaming era now and you guys had to sell CDs out the back of your trunks. However, y'all have to understand.
All the shade.
The same rules still apply though, right? Because if you don't like a rapper in today's time, you're not going to keep going to his page and downloading his content and listening to it just to say it's bad music and you hate it. I mean, Future did something for me this weekend by dropping an album, and it literally was my whole weekend listening to this Future album and watching the old community on Old Book talk about how trash the album was. And one guy even told me he knew I would like it because Future is apparently my daddy now. Now, I didn't take offense to the daddy comment. And I actually thought it was a compliment. If you think that me and Future is in the same realm, congratulations. I don't think a lot of people realize real work ethic and how work goes in. Someone said to me, well, Future has to drop all of this music. Future has to drop all of this music? Well, yeah, because he said he's a rapper. I mean, I don't know about what they missed, but in the 90s, getting a record every year was how it was. You got a record from an artist every year. Remember Lil Flip made it a big deal? I'm dropping an album every 8 months, but you don't hear me. It was like, oh, he thought that was a big deal to be dropping an album every 8 months because the timeline back then was every year. You get a project. Some 2, some 3. I mean, there's some artists that really only have about 4 albums out, 5 albums out, maybe 10. There's artists that didn't start rapping till 2012, popping rather. Let's use the word on and popping. But there's rappers that started rapping in 2012 already on their 13th album, 20th project. So, I mean, like, when I saw the community of Old Book get into an uproar about today's rappers are 10 times better, I had to ask myself, what are y'all not basing off of when you say the 90s rappers, 80s rappers are better? It's not lyrical content. It's not performances. It's not the way that they dress.
I can't even argue this one as much as I want to. I want to say the 90s was, I mean, the 90s music was
Your 90s era gave us 3 superstars, y'all.
Oh.
Pac, Biggie, and freaking MC Hammer.
That's it? Superstars?
Yeah. I mean, come on. As far as rap goes, after Pac and Biggie is the reason why Biggie is considered the GOAT or one of the GOATs.
Salt and pepper.
Now, come on now. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this today. We're not going to do this because I actually like salt and I actually like pepper. And, Spinderella too. But we are not about to throw them in superstar mode. You know what I'm saying? These people was in their 40s. No. These people was in like their 10th, 20th year before they even got the chance to see London, like world tours. These artists never done world tours, so they can't really be considered that. Like, we talking about artists, rappers that actually broke the charts, went #1, did tours, was doing Michael Jackson numbers, right? That didn't happen.
I mean,
No one cared. They was getting banned and booed. Banned and booed.
no, they weren't. Not in the 90s.
Okay, I have a few names thrown down here. Busta Rhymes. Womp womp. Boo. Pete Rock. I know we're not throwing a Pete Rock name in here. And MC Light, the voice of BET. No. These people are not what we call superstars, people. Because see, like, put it like this. When Joe Montana retired from football, you didn't see Joe Montana out there like in the booth on NBC trying to commentate. You know what I'm saying? Showing what we would like, what y'all would like to see us staying busy. What we call it is really trying to reinvent yourself, brand yourself, be relevant. Because when you're a superstar, you don't have to brand yourself and rebrand yourself. Everything you touch afterwards, you've done what you've done, right? Jay-Z is a superstar. Like, he doesn't have to make another album. Everything he touches, and yes, he's a 90s artist. He's one of the few, but he didn't start getting his crack until he got help from 2000 artists, artists of the 2000s. And like I keep telling everybody, Kanye West is not our father's artist, right? Artists of the 2000s, and there's a lot of people that be my age, like 35 and 40, walking around talking about these new artists. They don't get it like the old artists. What are you talking about, right? These kids are 25, like 25. So in retrospect, they're still your artists. Like when you were 20, these were the 10-year-olds walking around, following you around. You were the one that taught them to wear their pants down and to talk crazy and ignorant and not respect women. They didn't learn that from your grandfathers and the 90s artists. No, like I need people to understand where I'm coming from, Tanya Cash, because what my problem is this. These artists of today do not get a pass for being taught by the men of today, right? Now, I'm not going to sit up there and say I was a noble saint and whatever the case may be. But do y'all think when they talking about how they upbringers is, they talking about Tupac and them? You know, nah, they not. They talking about their molders are the Lil Waynes of the world, right? The Jay-Z's of the world. Some of them may say J. Cole. But at the end of the day, these are all our artists, right? And anything that comes with them in a time frame that, I mean, like, I don't get when 38, 35-year-olds, 36-year-olds started acting so old and old chap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when they got there, but it's like weird to me because that's like hating on your little brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like hating on your little brother.
I feel like you taking this kind of, you know,
Huh?
heart. Are you taking this kind of you taking this to heart? Like with these,
I am because
do you feel like they're putting like? Do you feel like you're in that box of where they're talking about how these new artists aren't as good as the
I
older
am in
artists?
the box, right? I am in the box because if they're talking about caring. They're talking about current style of music. So anyone that makes current style of music is in that box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a rapper out there rapping like and I don't want to say no diss names and nothing like that, but I got a friend of mine who raps like he's still in Wu-Tang or Busta Rhymes and one of these old ass niggas, right?
What?
Yeah. I'm like, yo, that's all right, that's real hip hop. He's good, right? But
Right.
come on now, like he's trying to mold himself to people that don't buy music anymore. I'm not going to sit up here and keep trying to sell myself to people that don't buy music. And it's hard enough to explain to people that don't buy music that the music of today's sound is catered to the people that buy music. This is the music that they've said in the masses that they like, that they want to buy, they want to listen to over and over again. Now, I challenge all the old people that say that they don't like this music. Mm-hmm. You're the buyers of the music softwares.
Mm-hmm.
You're the buyers of all the distribution sites that put all the music out. You're the avid listener. You have the freedom of that. Why isn't your favorite artist on any of these top lists? Is that a serious question to be answered when we already know the answer? And the reality of it is this. The reason why you don't see rappers like KRS-One and them ruling the charts with their old music, because y'all don't want to listen to it. And y'all are not playing it over and over and over again. A lot of the music from the 90s is mood music. I like to call it movie music. It fits a scene. It fits a scene, and that scene is done. A lot of today's music talks about what we like to call everyday life, right? So y'all ask yourselves, why is rap more popping now than it was back in the day? Well, back in the day, y'all, every
Oh,
day is not a movie.
we forgot about Kaya.
You talk about my neck and my back, he still remixing that song. You see what I'm saying? Like, they all know what time it is. In today's world, these artists have mastered the art of connecting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I get it. Y'all want to say that artists back in the 90s did connect. They did connect, yes. But y'all not understanding. Rap in the 90s was community based. If you ran your community put you out there. There was a man that said, "Oh, he's running his community. Let's give him a deal." Or
That's
not.
not fair. That's not fair.
Well, that's just how it is. I mean, like, name a few
What
rappers
say?
Name a few rappers from the 90s and think about the story behind how they got on. And I guarantee you, every one of them was found rapping in their community or their community, being the top dog.
Mm,
I
okay.
mean, I guess we could look at Pac, but Pac was like a nomad who chose to do whatever he had to do to get where he had to get, i.e., dancing, backup singing, backup vocals, to eventually getting the collab, to eventually getting his own spot. Look at MC Hammer, opening and opening and opening. Artists didn't want to hit the stage. He'd go back on stage. But I mean, he was already in his community, the big dog, ready to play baseball. Everybody was already looking for him to be the next great superstar from his neighborhood. That's how he ended up going broke, because he ended up putting everybody from his neighborhood that he wanted to put in position from baseball. He tried to do it with the music.
Mm,
Gave him a job. I mean, like, what did nineties do? Open the door,
okay.
because the 80s was a really bad era musically,
Mm,
but it was fresh, right? Y'all didn't. People would just take two records, two disco records, or two R&B pop records, and put them together before the vocals started, and they would keep them spinning in eights, keep the 8 second loops on, and
mm.
let whoever at the party rock the party. My name is JoJo. We need Mike in the back. Mike in the back. Yeah, yeah, Mike in the back. Oh, she got her jeans on. She got her jeans on. That's all it was in the 80s. No one knew what structure. No one knew none of that. Then somewhere in the 90s, they started to say, okay, this is a structure of a song, but what are we going to talk about? And someone said, let's just talk about our people. Let's do it for us. Let this be Black people music.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere along the 2000, someone came along and said, why is this music just for Black people? Why can't we rap for everybody? Now, obviously, I'm not going to lie. Around 2012, around 2012, it became more the realest music that you ever going to hear. And honestly, y'all are not, the people that complain about music now are not complaining about the music from the 80s and the 90s. They're complaining about that great masterful run that we had given to us between 2005 to 2015.
No, 99 to
No, ma'am.
2015.
No, ma'am.
And nah, cause you gotta include the Master P, the whole Cash Money era, the whole
Nah,
No Limit era, the whole all that. You still
that's
gotta
not the
the
era,
Three
though.
Six Mafia era, that was 90, 98, 99.
Yeah, but that's not the era though that got everybody geeking for music and for rap music.
Yes, it was. You can't leave out No Limit. Like No Limit was hot the end of the night.
No limits stamped to the game was a culture of independence, not music.
No, because that's the same era as Cash Money though.
Cash Money's stamp to the game is going to be independence, not music. That's why Lil Wayne was able to start an imprint with Young Money because
Yeah, later on.
2009,
Right.
but
About 10 years later, a decade later.
that run of mixtapes that Lil Wayne put out, the
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying it was like the streets was thumping that
but see,
shit.
that's the
And then
thing. That's
people
what I'm saying. Like
still miss it.
I agree with the streets. The streets was bumping. The streets loved it.
Okay.
But we talking about a president got up on stage, though he was black, the first one we seen, but he got on stage and started quoting rap lyrics from this time.
Maybe he just got
Now
familiarized.
he's old enough, he's very much so old enough to say, hey, mama said knock you out.
Why would he say that? But okay, it fit, and he probably, you know what? It probably wasn't even his idea to come up with the quote. Somebody probably wrote that shit.
It was a cool person who said, you want to appeal to these people, to these youngins? Like, and like that's what I really want y'all to understand, right? Back when we were youngins, it was like you had to be like a real live drug dealer or out in the streets to have money. You know what I'm saying? You had to be active. Now these kids are they got money off of YouTube, playing video games, anything and everything these kids got money off of. So controlling the narrative of who's hottest is now really up to them. My son plays his music every day. I don't get offended that none of his music is hardly ever my songs. But when I listen to the artist, I'm always thinking to myself, what are they talking about? And when you really like, if we start got like we all gotta stop this good life that we've earned, this good life that we've accustomed ourselves to now, because we've all ran from the hood. No one wants to go back to the hood. We get it, y'all. But y'all know that this music that our kids love so much, it actually kind of sounds like one of my days when I was 14. One of my days when I was 13. I mean, the wordplay is a little different. We didn't call our enemies ops at the time. But I do remember riding around a few neighborhoods looking for some ops to get at. Now, I don't know if that's like the thing to do now, because I'm older now. But these kids, like I know for sure, my little nephews, little cousins, they saw me out there and they said I'm gonna be like Uncle K or Cousin K.
So the kids nowadays are just repeating what the previous generations have said and just changing the words, basically.
I mean, look, really, the music. When we heard "F the police" and "Fight the power," we all went ham, and that molded us today. We still say "F the police" and "Fight the power" against the system.
No,
Now,
not so much.
y'all know only thing that happened now was that the kids I no longer just say F the police. They said, well, F the police, yeah, fight the power and F the ops. And if you're not from my hood, F you too.
Ain't nobody rapping about fight the power.
I mean, yeah, no one's rapping. No one's
Nobody's rapping about like, and I think that's what the problem is that the older generation has with the new generation. They're like, okay, talk about all that shit you talking about, but also talk about this damn oppression that should be your real op, and I guess that
rapping. I mean, like the funny part about it is oppression isn't the real op because oppression is only limited to the people that don't take opportunities.
mm,
Oppression nowadays is damn. I don't want to sound like Kanye West, but oppression nowadays, if you're oppressed, you do, you're doing something incorrectly.
how
Like
could how could you say that?
I mean, like, cause this is I don't want to be like Kanye and rude or nothing like that. But what I'm saying now is in today's world, you have to really say to yourself, I don't want to do nothing to have nothing, to be nothing. And it's like if you say I want to be anything in this world, it's right there at your fingertips. That's literally anything that you
Right.
want to be.
Right. So, and what I understand people are talking about when they say oppression are basically, yes, I want to do this and I start doing this, but I'm still not making enough to make ends meet, or I still may not elevate in this field simply because of who I am. Now,
Yeah, but that's
we can't say that that doesn't happen. However, someone that's independent would just say, you know what, F this, I'm gonna create my own. But everybody's not like that. So
no.
there are roadblocks for some people. This is what I heard. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. But this is when people talk about oppression and keeping us down and stuff like that. This is what I think they're talking about. Are opportunities that you say are available, but when they present themselves for that opportunity, they may be turned away simply off of judgment. Um,
Yeah. But and
I
I
don't know.
want people to understand something, right? That key word that you said is simply off of the judgment. You live in your whole life waiting for judgment. So if you live your whole life waiting for judgment, why not expect to be judged in between to make sure that you kind of like on the right path? Now,
Well, we're not going to get too deep into the
I get
politics and stuff about,
it.
but
I
I've
get
been reading and listening to stuff about basically, the redlining and all that stuff that supposedly happened. I don't
yeah.
know what happened, but I'm stuck because I want to understand more of what people mean. I think like you, like whatever you want to do, you can get out here and do it. Like, but then I thought about when I worked in corporate and I worked for a company, and I'm not even going to say the name of the company, but they don't even have any people of color in top management on the
Yeah.
team that, and it's been like that for over 25 years
Yeah.
now.
A lot of companies like that.
When I seen that working on this particular team, I said, the chances of me being my boss, like she's been the boss for like 25 plus, the chances of that ain't really happening in this corporation. So I do understand when some people say that you, because of who you are, you simply cannot get to the top working in certain spaces.
Yeah,
So,
because you're not intended. Because it's like this: if you start a company or I start a company, right?
mhm,
At the end of the day, the idea of it is it's a family company, right?
mhm,
Now, no matter how big it gets, the idea is it's a family company.
mhm,
So if John doesn't want the job, I want to see if Jacob wants the job. If Jacob doesn't want the job, maybe Joshua wants it. If Joshua doesn't want it, then now I have to see if Susan wants it. If Susan doesn't want it, Sharon. If Sharon doesn't want it, then maybe you guys friends will get it. But at the end of the day, these is how these companies get set up. Now, where I'm going with this, I want y'all to understand something. A lot of people get into situations where you see the systematic racism, but don't play along with it. I've
Now,
had several jobs or several situations where I've automatically known that if I wasn't white, I wasn't getting it right. Or if I didn't have this, I wasn't getting it. I mean, my tattoos alone have gotten me so many bad looks and evil eyes. The red hair doesn't really help at all. But the thing about it is, a lot of people are too afraid to ask themselves these two questions. What do I want? How bad do I want it? These two questions are two of the most powerful questions that I ask myself all the time with every stupid decision, every risk, every chance I take. I mean, there's times when I look at something and I say, you know what, that's not good, not gonna be good. But then I look at the outcome of the other people before me, right? And I'm like, okay, what did they do? Because it's always got to be something. If the chain is broken and it's not family and friends at the top anymore, what did they do? And you have to ask yourself, what did they do? And you have to be willing to do it. And sometimes it means starting your own and creating your own.
I mean, yeah, but we're not there. What and what I say we're not there yet. I mean, we just still have to admit that some people go through these roadblocks, and this stuff actually does happen.
I,
Because when you say you can do whatever you want to do, you can become whatever you want to become. When you give people this ambition, this encouragement, and they go out here and they're like, yeah, I'm going to be the not the CEO, but maybe the CFO of this company. If he could do it, if John could do it, I can do it. And they work their ass off their entire lives. And simply that position gets passed on from John to Zachary to Mary to Susan to Braden, to just different people that just does not resemble that person. So I just want to hear from you, like, do you honestly believe that people have there's no such thing as systematic racism, and people could do whatever they want, and they can be whatever they choose to be in the world? There's nothing stopping them.
right? Because it's like this. I don't believe that there's one company to do anything. I don't believe that there's one company, one brand to do anything.
Mhm.
Now, I also believe this. If I say that I want to be a rapper and I want a rap deal, if every day I'm trying to get to Columbia Records and I find out that Columbia Records has not signed a black artist without 10 mixtapes and 5 albums, right? If I find out that, now it's my job to go out there and say, damn, I want to really get with Columbia. Let me get 10 mixtapes, because if John did it, if John is black and John did it, then I could do it too. Let me get 15 mixtapes and maybe 10 albums, right? Let me get on my grind to get with Columbia. Now, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work and I do not get with Columbia, I've still done more work or the same amount of work as John. So I don't have to just be so strong on Columbia, because my goal is to get the job done. Now, if at the end of the day, my job is solely stuck on that one company and maximizing that, well, if John is still there, you can't beat John. You have to now be John's teammate so that John, when he's gone, you're next. But a lot of people do not do that. A lot of people say, well, if John got up there to CFO, I'm going to be CFO. The whole time John's still there. And the whole time while John was there, you didn't spend the time being John's friend, showing John you was next up. You spent more time showing John you was an op, you was someone who wanted his spot, and you were going to do whatever to get it.
But yet, the major three record labels are ran and at the
Yeah.
top executive levels have.
Of course, because
Okay, so
well,
we can't.
but that's not the reason for that is not because of status. That's because of money and investments.
Really? So,
Yeah, that's because of money and investments. Listen, let's just be real. The first black people that figured out that we can rap, sing, and get on the road did not build a label.
mhm,
They went to somebody and said, "Give us money for our talents and help us make money."
mhm,
And that person thought of the system, thought of the process, and got everybody paid. That person's going to win.
mhm.
And in all these years, I mean, music business has been around since the 40s, and not one. I mean, look, Motown tried it, right? But not one real sufficient group of black people have got together and say we could do this with our money. It takes $2 billion. It takes $5 billion. It takes $7 billion, whatever the case may be, and make artists.
Mhm.
Well, y'all know what happens when black people go out there and create $1 billion companies. Y'all know
Wow.
the first people that they hire are white people.
Mhm.
They don't go out here and say, "Let me get another brother," like they did back in the day, because y'all know that black people didn't make the money. A lot of y'all black people are too real for your own good. I mean, y'all think it's a coincidence that white people are able to get up there and sing our songs, be more believable, make more money, and tour all day, every day for the rest of their lives till they 90, but yet we don't see black artists. I mean, we very rarely see black artists performing. That's why Versus is such a big deal. If y'all don't understand that, that's why Versus is such a big deal, because we get a chance to see our black stars old. You only see white stars old. Ozzy Osbourne, Sting, Bruce Springsteen, Bono, U2. You know, they all still performing like they young. Mick Jagger, Motley Crue, and all of them. They still doing it.
Well, their people support them.
Now, come on now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Tanya Cash. That's what I'm telling all these listeners out here and all these viewers today. That no one is supporting the rappers from the 90s the way that they are talking about it and fighting for it whenever one of these youngins bring attention to the reality that the game is better now. Let's just put it like this, y'all. I don't want to keep saying the game. So Talia Cash, can I step it up a notch? Do you
Go
mind if I
ahead.
go and take it to the 10th power?
Okay.
Life is better now than it was in the 90s.
Hmm?
Life is better now than it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Y'all understand that when the microwave first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, my food could be cooked faster."
Hmm.
Life didn't get slower after that. They didn't start slowing it down. They didn't say, "Let's make a new 50-hour stove to complement the 1 minute microwave." They
Hmm.
didn't do that. So we y'all understand that everything is evolving. Everything is getting to a point where it's called usable, sustainable information.
Mm.
I mean, listen, what I love is the fact that every daggone time, and like Tony said, now we're on the air fryer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, the last time I used my stove. So it's like life is like wow, right? It's like wow. But yet, honestly, for real, everything gets respected. Sports athletes, everyone respects Trey Young. Everyone respects the Patrick Mahomes. You know, these are new guys, the new basketball players. John Morant, you know what I'm saying, second year in the NBA. Patrick Mahomes won a championship and he's a young rookie. Lamar Jackson, he's young, he's fresh, he's hip. Screw Tom Brady, that's what everybody say, although he got 10 Super Bowl appearances, you know, things like that. Screw Screw LeBron James, he ain't the go. Woo woo woo, blah blah blah. But yeah, when it comes to rap, oh no no, new rap sucks. Old, it's still we still want old. But yet the numbers don't reflect that.
I don't think people want old.
What you think
They,
they want? Tell me out.
I think they definitely want more motivational music,
Hmm.
more fight the
I,
power.
you know what I tell people? I'm like everybody know who Anderson Paak is,
Mm,
right? Sometimes you need a friend. Sometimes you need someone that's gonna help, not the ones that just butt in.
mm,
When you come up on a lick, make sure you cut them in. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't understand. Like I tell every old person and young person, it's like we have something for that.
mm.
Y'all don't have to keep listen. And I know a lot of y'all use Spotify and Apple, and on there, there's like this little section here when you type in the artist. And I know y'all be typing it in, and it might it just be like you see it and you like, huh? Let me see who else is at the bottom of this page. I'm just gonna type in Future because he just dropped here, and I'm gonna show y'all this like y'all see this little section right here. Y'all see this little section here at the bottom.
Mhm.
Similar artists, and y'all just start typing it, right? Y'all just start pressing that button. But I want to tell y'all how y'all can use this nice little app called Apple Music to not find artists that sound the same, right? Because that's what y'all keep saying. And I need y'all to understand if you're looking for artists, if you're tuning into artists and you press that button down there, they're all going to sound the same. That's what that means. They're similar artists. But you can press that search button. See this little button right here? It says this little button right here, and you can type in whoever you want, whatever you're looking for. It's a beautiful button. You don't have to go from Future to Lil Baby to The Rock to whoever, right? And like, I'm also willing to challenge y'all that the artists at the top, you're not gonna find two of them. Y'all are talking about the artists that are trying to get on. Y'all are talking about all the artists that are spamming you to listen to their new mixtape and their new single and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I don't like y'all bashing on them because what y'all don't understand is they're doing that based on you. Y'all don't okay, listen. If you're all day long telling me that you like KRS One, and I'm a new artist, right? And I'm out here trying to really break, and I want you to like my song, I may go in the studio and do something like KRS One, and you're going to be the first person I hit up to ask you to listen to it. Now, if you tell me as an artist, bro, you sound like KRS One on this, did I win? Did I win? Did I win? I thought you said you like KRS One. Don't tell me you like old hip hop, but then when I sell you some old hip hop shit, you like, I don't know about this. Don't sound current. This sounds outdated. This sounds old.
Uh, listen, because someone I feel like is giving old and phenomenal album. By the way, uh, took me by surprise because so I had heard it. Someone had played it for me, and this is someone that I'm excited. Um,
Oh,
really is back in the mix. You
okay.
know, like he never left. He been dropping little stuff here and there along the way, but
Still
he came
drumming, was
back
it?
with a banger. You know what I'm saying? And actually, they're saying it's taking a number one spot on the Billboard 200 album charts. I'm
And then
guessing.
let's talk about Pusha T.
Yes, it's
Man,
almost dry now.
y'all want to do this to me today?
Anyone out there in the audience, y'all, if you haven't heard it, make sure y'all just take a listen. Pusha T
It's
came back strong.
okay.
And
If Pusha T's listening, your album's trash, bro.
oh no, 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 no. I certified that. And how can you think it's trash when I mean your favorite person worked on it?
That don't mean. Listen, y'all. So what I told somebody is this: y'all realize Pharrell also worked on it.
Yeah, and I thought about that the other day because what did I say? I was like, anything, I said Pusha T because anything that had Pharrell on it, I'ma like it. So maybe I'm biased, but I'm also loving the yayism. You know what I'm saying? I could feel the yayism in it, and I'm like, it's just enough
I mean, Pusha
to
T
enlighten me, not too much, but I was just astonished, must I say.
is Pusha T. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Y'all got me. Y'all got me good. Because last week everybody was telling me Pusha T this, Pusha T that. Now I like to read my reviews on Hip Hop DX. If you guys don't know about Hip Hop DX, go ahead, hiphopdx.com. Look at the review section. They review all the albums when they drop. And I love the authenticity of it, and it's usually always spot on. So I did read the review on the Pusha T album, and I was like, this is a little harsh. Let me go check this album out myself, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, yeah, it's Pusha T, but has he really grown any? Has he elevated any? Is it anything new? Now listen, y'all don't think I'm just being hard on Pusha T. It's also the same reason why I don't rather enjoy Rick Ross anymore, right? It's not about consistency, just making the same flow, the same comments, the same topics all day long. I want to see growth. I want to see maturation. I want to see you elevate with the times.
Mhm.
But let me address the production side of things, right?
Mhm.
Because I need a lot of people to understand something. Those beats sounded like he did not work with these people at all, but selected beats that they had been putting together. And if y'all understand, I want y'all to understand what I'm saying here. There's certain producers that walk in the studio, and when I walk in the studio, I'm like, all right, let's work. And the first thing they want to do is start pushing play down a library of beats that they already have. Now, usually, if y'all have never been in the beat selection process, it's a lot worse and strenuous than the actual beat making process. Because a beat selection process, you're just sitting there with the person that's hitting the down button, next, 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 until you feel inspired. Now, with an artist like Pusha T, who raps, pretty much raps, just raps, right? He's probably inspired by pretty much the first couple of beats he hears. But let's just play devil's advocate. And I told you I want to be cynical this year. But could y'all imagine somebody sitting there for like 2 hours trying to select some beats and just says, all right, just give me those. Just give me those ones that I bob my head to.
I want to disagree. It's only a couple of songs that sound like that. Okay, six. The rest of them, I don't know. But I know what you're talking about, and I feel it's only two songs on there where I felt like, like, did he really, like, you could kind of, I don't know if that was for you. Did you, like, really try a little harder? You need to try a little harder on this one. So I understand, but I wouldn't say the entire album sounds like that.
No, like I'm not. I'm gonna. What I am gonna do is, guys, I do have a road trip coming up, and I'm going to dissect Pusha T's album again. I do have to put out a disclaimer. I've never liked Pusha T.
Well, then, what's the
Now I'm gonna tell y'all one
difference?
thing for sure. What I do is when I do my review me I do music reviews live on PlayStation Network, right? I put parties together. I have a few parties and we play music. Artists send me music. We play whatever games from 2K or Call of Duty. We get a nice little party going. About 16 people could be in a party, and we just let music play, and we all rate them and judge them. Pusha T's name came up in Thursday's review. Everyone was pretty pissed off at me for bringing up Pusha T's album in
I
this.
thought you would like it,
I'm
honestly.
gonna tell you, I offered. I asked everybody, I said, "Y'all want to put this Pusha T and review this?" And the whole chat room just went on fire. No one wants to listen to Pusha T. Actually, they all felt like he lost to Drake. So by him losing to Drake, it was kind of like no one really wants to listen to Pusha T anymore.
I
And
mean, that's a follower mindset.
but
I think
I
you
am
should be able to, okay, and with every, you should be able to analyze an album or review something without bias, even if you don't like the person. Like I listen to you know what I'm
that's
saying?
not
You should be
fair. That's
able
not
to,
fair.
like,
You know
I
I can.
do.
You know I can. I can be unbiased when listening to it. However, I can't be unbiased to popular opinions. That is one thing that listen, like that is one thing that is going to always be first to ring out in whatever we're doing. Right? Now, if I'm in the room and 10 people tell me to tie my shoes up, if I don't never look down and tie my shoes up and I fall on my face, then that's on me, right? But if I look down and tie my shoes up, then we're all good to go. Now, all I'm saying is nobody in the room, not one person was ready to ride for Pusha T. And I wanted to, I was a bit thrown off by it. Now, I did listen to the Pusha T album.
Mhm.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I am one of those very strict listeners. I'm a very strict listener. So I did listen to Pusha T. It has not gotten one more play yet. I have proof that I listened to Pusha T, guys. It is on my recent history playlist, but it just didn't do it for me. You know, like it's just something about the Pusha T, brand that just never really did it for me. I'm not a Coke person. I don't sell it. I don't dabble in it. Never touched it. So it's not something that would interest me. So I don't even know what they be talking about. Right? It's like he got what like bass. I'm like bass. I don't know what he's talking about. So what's it? He's talking about Coke, and I said, well, I thought he was asking for some more bass in the song. Whatever. But it is what it is. So like when I get it, when people say they didn't like Future new album, because I'm like, you don't know what he's talking about. If you're not in a situation where you can relate, then it's not relatable. And if it's not relatable, then it's automatically, I guess, assumed bad. Have you heard the new artist Tizo Touchdowns? I really would like for you to go and check out Tizo Touchdown. Now, if you're looking for great, great rap music, he's more like a rock star. I've come to find out by going deeper into his category. I thought he was like a new R&B hip hop singer type feel, but he's not. He's a rock star. But check him out because what I'm saying now is going to be a whole new movement for what we call black young artists. Y'all are not understanding that we get thrown in rap and hip hop because we're black. Y'all uh, and not y'all at Tanya Cash, but y'all as the people that's watching, y'all have forgotten that we get thrown in this category because we're black and young.
Mhm.
Lil Nas X never wanted to be a rapper, but yet he get called a hip hop artist when he said he wanted to be a country star.
That's not fair.
I mean, Lil Uzi Vert thrown as a hip hop artist when he clearly said he wants to be a rock star and be a young boy now who's trying to get everything in his power for his label to change over his genre to heavy metal. So you guys don't understand that we're in a whole new world. B.O.B. has a record label called Genreless, No Genre Music.
Mm.
And a lot of people are not paying attention to the whole breakdown of everyone is at the point now where nobody wants to be told what to do and who's who and
So
what's.
then what chart would you fall under? Because you know what I was
One
thinking
second.
about the other day? I
I just
said,
put a comment in the comment section, and I know it says don't read the comments, but you need to kick is needs to be kicked for saying that Future needed Drake's star power 2 times on the album.
mm, but anyway,
He
um,
knows.
so y'all made me lose my train of thought. Go ahead.
Now, is was really crazy for that comment because I don't understand the word need, and I really don't understand how we
Future.
calling Drake's star power any more bigger than Future star power.
Yeah. So with I didn't even know about B.O.B. and his
Yes, genre, no genre.
genre list. Okay, so then how would it be charts? Because I was thinking the other day, I was like, all right, so back to this trans women, regular women thing, right? So I was thinking if trans women can fit in the women's category in sports, with Saucy Santana rising in the charts, will it be the same in music, or will it become a time where you can't put male or female in front of the whatever category it is? So if we're doing genre-less music, how would you rate artists? If everybody's in one big pool, would it just be the top artists? Period. I mean, like, how would you?
It's just gonna be numbers. It's there's gonna be a numbers game.
But nobody wants to be number two
The sad thing about
all the time.
the sad thing about it is what I tell people is your numbers never had anything to do about your talent or you as an artist. But we'll talk about that on another show. But number one is based on your label,
Mhm.
based on your situation. So,
Right.
so I mean, like I understand genres being needed for charting purposes,
Mhm.
right? But at the end of the day, they they that's only for awards and things like that. When we're talking about genre lists, I think that or breaking down the barriers of genres, I think that we're talking about them saying K Michelle can't do country music because she's black, right?
Yeah,
That's BS.
I understand that. So that's what I'm saying. So everybody, country, heavy metal, rap, R&B, everybody's just in one pool.
Well, like I don't think it
There
should be.
is no genre. You
I don't
just
think
do music.
it has to be. I mean, yeah, everyone's already in one pool anyway. Because at the end of the year, when your numbers go in for like the top artist of the year, who has the most sales, it's not broken down into genres. You know, the number one artist of the selling artist of the year is not based on your genre.
Right.
You know, and that can change.
So no more award shows because it's just everybody knows who number one is. So what do we
Yeah,
tell?
I mean that's it. All you need is the best award, the best video, the best song, the best collab, the best, you know, it could be that. It no longer has to be what is the best rock song, the best rap song, the best country song. I mean, that's made up for everyone and their own money.
That's a dangerous turf right there.
Yeah, it is a dangerous turf, but I do believe that that's not the grounds of it. I think the grounds of it is the barriers, like we're still talking about systematic racism,
Mhm.
right? Those are the barriers that we really want to break down. I don't want to be told that I have to be a rapper because I have locks. You know, I don't want to be told that because I said something because if you say one line in your song, it could push it into another genre.
Okay.
You know, like so
I, I
and there's
just
a book of it. There's a book of all the genres and how they get broken down and judged. And I'm gonna get the name of that book for you, right? But it's like if you going on a song and you started talking like some real uplifting stuff, the minute that you say "I got," look at my, you now have jumped from inspirational rap to braggadocious rap. The minute you start saying something, the minute you make any drug reference, now you're in this type of lane. If you make this type of reference, you're in this type of lane. So you have to be very careful and even strong song structure. When a lot of artists are asking themselves and hitting their head on the wall with why can't they get popping or why don't nobody know how to listen to them, a lot of you all confuse your fans. And then you confuse their friends because a fan doesn't know how to share your music and then tell who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna let my friend Mike hear this song by Sixxcess," but then when they hear it, they're like, "Oh, let me hear another one," and it's like, "Oh, wait, this not like the first one." You know? Oh, he's not like that. He talks about everything. He's like all over the place. That's how a lot of you artists are, like, right? Fans need something they can sell. Oh, my man always talking about jury. Oh, my man always talking about lean. Oh, he always talking about weed. Or he's always talking about girls. Or he's always talking about getting money. Or he's always talking about elevating. You see what I'm saying? That's how artists get sold. A lot of you artists, when you're trying to figure out how to get on, you're trying to sell yourself and sell yourself. And y'all say, I'll never sell my soul. But the first thing you're doing when you're out there trying to find the right song to make the people want to mess with you and follow you, you're starting the process of selling your soul already.
I just don't want it to be genreless. Like I feel like you shouldn't have to be forced to be in a category, but at the same time, you need to choose a lane though. Like you can be like as far as singers and rappers, like I feel like that's just your title. Either you're a singer or a rapper. But just because you're a rapper don't mean you can't be a country rapper. Doesn't mean you can't be a heavy metal rapper. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
it doesn't. But
so
but the one thing
rapper
you can
and
do,
singer should just be the two categories. If
yeah,
you
but the one thing you can't do is disrupt what we call cultures. Like
mm,
I can't make a rap song like this, right? I can't make a rap song that goes viral. Like if you see somebody stealing, better tell on them. If your man do a crime, better snitch on them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that because now, no matter how big this song is, it's never going to be respected or accepted in that culture because you're disrupting the culture. And you can't get in a country song talking about my chains look nice. I got a badass wife.
yes, you can.
Nah,
Yes, you can. You should be able to. I would love that. Oh my gosh, country rap.
you're messing up the balance. You're messing up
No,
what you do.
that's how Lil Nas X got me off the jump. Then he went left. Once he started doing regular rap, I was like, oh, okay. Like I thought we were
Yeah,
on to something right here, like it's different.
yeah.
I was feeling it.
I'm gonna
So
tell you one thing. The industry changed Little Nas X.
that's not fair. He needs to go
Y'all
back
gotta
to
understand this
Old Town Road rap.
came out, gay or not, he came out and told everybody he wanted to be country. And what did our great beloved billboards do? You're not country. Well, I guess now we know why they didn't want him in country. That would really mess up the good old cowboy mentality, especially at the Brokeback Mountain. No, ma'am, can't have that again. Not on our watch. So we already know why. Now we see why they say pop star because then you're safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But let's just be real, y'all. Like y'all, that's why they didn't let him be a rapper. And that's why every time somebody say rapper Lil Nas X, everybody be quick to say he is not a rapper.
I
They,
mean,
they protect
I
him.
feel like he's a rapper regardless if it's country rap or if it's whatever he's doing now. Pop rap. Rap is rap. Like that's just what it should be. Like there's no I mean, okay, the only confusing rapper would be Drake because you don't know if he's singing or rapping, but
Drake is a singer, though. But Drake is an actor. So it's
hater.
like honestly, Drake is not confusing so much as the game is being more melodic now, right? He's just a man that doesn't need collabs and features. However, at the end of the day, how do I say this? I looked at somebody's catalog, one Luther Vandross. I realized that Luther Vandross didn't write or do not one song. All he did was karaoke professionally.
Mhm.
So I look at Drake and I'm like, okay, Drake is a great artist. He's able to sing, he's able to rap, but Drake is not relatable to the community. Drake
What?
sells to Drake sells to the market. And if people don't understand who the market is, it's
Yeah.
these lovely ladies and these kids.
To everybody. Mhm.
And y'all, and a lot of artists don't understand that. Like, yes, Drake can jump into the rap world, but there's no one putting Drake on their top 10 rap list besides real Drake fans. They're like, hey, Drake can outsell everybody. Drake's the top selling artist in the world. That's what they say. I mean, like, no one's beating down anybody's door to be like, no, he's a rapper. He's the best rapper in the world.
Ain't nobody care that much.
Nah, I'm gonna put it like this: no one's gonna care that much because Lil Wayne is live, and a lot of people do not understand that it is about numbers, and numbers is not sales. Like a lot of people keep on acting like that's what matters, right?
Mhm.
But it's not sales. Although sales is great, but if sales was the best thing, then y'all wouldn't be calling. No one would call Jay Z to go ever, right? It's not sales, y'all. It's numbers on a scoreboard. It's who was able to make their fans say, "Did you hear that new record the most?" And it's still fire.
Mhm.
Apparently somewhere along the line, everybody seems to forget that big key factor that's what it's about. Lil Wayne put out more music than anybody. Than anybody. Now you got a lot of rappers that rap. You got a lot of rappers that rap. But shit, when an artist proves to you that he gonna give you an album and mixtapes galore, album mixtapes, very rarely repeat itself. Very rarely, most of them he didn't have a lot of collabs on them. Most of them just really put the work down and still alive to tell the story, put on other people, actually put on other people because y'all keep talking about all the what other rappers really put on other rappers. I'm not talking about rappers that just make a little bit of money because that's cool, but I'm talking about created superstars.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, we don't want to give a lot of people their credit, a lot of people their respect, but at the end of the day, we lose the main focus when it comes to artists that are indie, right? Indie artists will never get the same respect that signed artists get, no matter how much they work.
Why you think that is?
Well, because of the 90s. The 90s made signed artists the thing. The 90s made having a record deal the pinnacle of everything. Everyone is still in today's world chasing the 90s, except for the artists. The artists have moved on. The artists are no longer interested in impressing the record executives to get up there and dance and judge to see if I could put my song out in the morning. They no longer got to go up there and impress this producer over here and hope he work with them. If you don't want to work, oh well, I'll go get this guy. He got the beats. I hit this producer on YouTube. He got the beats. I buy it. Whatever.
Mm.
Me and my homeboy, we'll throw another beat on top of it and make it another song, sample it. We'll do whatever. We cool. So like when you talk about why artists with the deals get all the respect, because when the artists in the 90s were walking around talking about how they were getting screwed over and rude over and roughed by the record labels, there was one man who said, I don't want to get roughed by the record label, but I want to rough other people like that. That was Jay-Z, which opened the door for a lot of other rappers to start getting smarter and
Mhm.
more hip, paying attention to their paperwork, figuring out who owns me. Well, you know why no one's going to give them no respect. You're not going to give the man that walks, talks, and does what he wants any respect. No one likes that guy. That's why I'm almost one of the most hated people in America right now. Because people hate that, hey, Six, What you got to do today? Whatever I want. Hey, what? When your new album coming out? Whenever I want. I got a new single. I'm about to drop. I'm about to drop a new album. Whenever I want. I'm in the studio today. I'm at the radio station this day. I'm doing everything that I want to do. But yet, a lot of my counterparts, they got to go to work. They got to figure out their life, and they mad. So when these indie artists are sitting around here able to drop music and all these fans like, I'm tired of hearing the same thing. Why don't somebody put out something different? Well, they don't have to. And you hate them because of that. The only people that have to give you something different is the people that have to walk into the boss's office and say, is this good? Can we put this out? Should we put this out? And then those artists that get online, like y'all, I know y'all look at them, but they get online, they complain. My label won't let me drop. I have an album, but my label won't let me put it out. I can't do nothing right now because my label. And this is the funniest thing is when I see the artists say, "I just signed a new deal, but I can't say anything about it yet. Just wait, big things happening."
Didn't what's her name? Chloe Bailey was just talking about that. About how, when you're with the label, you can't move how you want to move. Certain, there's certain things you
No,
can't drop music when you want to drop music.
no. And that's why you know what? And that's why all these old heads are so mad. Because do you know that everyone thinks that there's a lot of rappers that sound the same now. But boy, if they had their way in 1995, 1996, you know how many other Jay-Z sounding ass rappers it would be in the DMV that rap like Jay-Z or rap like Scarface because him and Rap A Lot Records was down grabbing people. So they put on that Scarface tone to try to sound like that. Like a lot of rappers will get exposed. Oh, I'm sorry, a lot of failed rappers will be exposed in today's world if it was ran back in the 90s the same way. They're using the analog, the analogy that I didn't make it because, right? When the reality of it is the same risk that you have to take now, you had to take then. Get your ass on the road, get in the studio, spend a little money to make some money, do whatever you got to do. But all of these people were so pressed up the record label's tail that they missed their opportunities. And now they're mad because no one has to chase the record label's tail no more. So why no one gets respect like the record labels and the indie artists when they say stuff like you ain't gotta sell real records. And I hate that statement because y'all do know the records still get sold. If
What do
it,
you mean? They say, hold on, wait. What you mean? They say you don't have to sell real records,
Well, you
meaning
know the saying. The saying is, do you think that artists will survive in a non-streaming era? In the era where people actually had to buy records as opposed to just streaming your records. As if, these guys that sold their records in stores or had to hit the road and sell records did anything greater than the kids that are having to get these streams up.
um,
There's a lot of people on that theory that it's a lot harder to get stream sales than it is to sell an actual CD.
it really is because you to even get
But
a
what?
penny is I mean,
And let's look at the most cynical side of it. If it takes one CD sale to get a CD sold for an artist back in the day, it takes 1,500 streams on one song for that to become a sale. And if you have ten songs on that album, each song has to get 1,500 a piece for it to be considered even one sale of that whole album. Now, let's just be real. In a world where, yeah, you could be driving down the street and hear an album played that someone might buy, but the chances are that you'd have to walk into the store or have the radio cater to you what the hottest song on that album was for you to want to go and buy it or care to play it again. Now, in today's world where everything is free, where you can go to YouTube and check it out before you even buy it, these people still seemingly muster 1,500 strings per song to equal one sale billions of times, millions of times, hundreds of millions of times. So I'm like, you're gonna tell me that your CD started skipping and you didn't think to put it in your Spotify playlist or go and buy another CD to get that artist 2, 3 album sales, then that song isn't that great to you, right? In today's world, the idea of a great song is 15 seconds. In those 15 seconds, you have a lot to prove. A lot to prove. And with that, huh, I tell a lot of people, hey, hold on 1 second. So no, I don't like it. I don't like it. you know and the whole game, everyone is like looking at these people like real, really like they're doing something so weird, so cynical, so wrong, when they're doing what the game taught them to do, and what has been being shown and transgressed and evolutionized in the last, 10, 15 years. It's all been revolutionized. So now these kids shouldn't be held responsible for learning the game from the ones that did it right. And know, all of you failed artists, or big dreamers, don't attack these guys. And yes, DDG was right for all of the reasons that we named on this show. Why the game is, why artists are not. It's not just about music.
Techno- they have an advantage. I mean, they're better because the times are better, like you said.
Yes. Listen, when the first people started playing football, the game sucked. They ran the ball 30 to 40 times a game. They barely passed the ball. At the time, Sammy Baugh was one of the number one quarterbacks, and he only had like 1,000 yards passing and like 1,500 yards rushing. So when you ask, the reality of the game is not what we think. Everything has evolutionized. Everything has changed, and yet the only people that don't get respect, and I'm gonna say it, y'all, are the rappers. We appreciate the new actors. We love Denzel little son. We love Denzel's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he all right. I'd have watched 10 to 10 times and still don't know what the hell that movie about. But whatever, you
uh,
know. We love everything new. We love everything new except for the new rappers, y'all. We just don't like. We just gotta be flat out. Y'all just tell it like it is, young. You hate rappers because rappers are living like athletes and not taking the bruise and the brunts. And I'm not gonna talk about the rappers that's dying, y'all, because that's different. That's street stuff. That's the codes. I'm talking about y'all hate the rappers like coming up where y'all say out of nowhere. Y'all hate the little babies and the babies and the futures and all these good cool names. So I would tell you like this, like we're definitely gonna have to pick this up on a part two because I got a lot of stuff to talk about.
yeah, I mean, I, I understand where you're coming from. I think you're a little bit harsh, but
But you know why,
yeah.
Josh? Y'all go check out my Facebook and check out some of the status, the comments by some of these old people, and y'all gonna see why I'm like this right now. I mean, like, ugh, it's just disgusting the way they talk.
Mm, mm, well, in other news, I didn't get your perspective on this. I think you got away easy last week, but DJ Envy, Will Smith, and other men that are going through similar situations. Do you feel like some things are meant not to be said, regardless
Yes.
of what attention you're trying to garner?
Yes, but I understand why you have to do it.
So, do you agree with that situation? Like, do you think that that's okay?
So
If
I
you
don't know
were
that
in his shoes,
platform.
would you feel like that's all right?
I don't know that platform, but I have to say if that platform is based on giving somebody some help and teaching people and whatnot.
The Shade Room?
Wait, you talking about DJ Envy's wife?
Yeah, DJ Envy and his wife.
His wife faking the orgasms for him?
Yeah, basically, I was saying, do you feel like some things are meant not to be said? Like, do you
But I
feel
think
like
based on, I think it's all based on what type of form that you are offering.
selling a book?
Yeah, I think that if you're selling a book, and it's definitely a learning book and an educational book, you have to tell it. You have to, right? Because these are things that help. These things are that's going to help people. There's a lot of people out here that let's look at on envy side. There's a lot of people that think that they're doing everything right and not pleasing their partner right. But then there's a lot of women who won't go that extra mile. If your man is going every day to work hard for you, then you're supposed to go whatever the extra mile is to make him happy. So I think that I don't understand what the whole form and what their platform is, but I do believe that I wouldn't put out a platform that I don't believe to tell everything. But even on this platform, I have to tell you the real deal of the music, the real deal behind the music. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just be like, hey, but I don't want to talk about that. You feel me? Like, all right, whatever it is. Their platform must be about marriage and sustaining marriage. I don't even know how long they've been married.
Since high school. I'm just gonna real quick give my take on it. I feel like, okay, you're helping people by telling people, so what are you gonna say? That you coached him into getting it right? But while you were faking it, he wasn't pleased either because he was cheating on her. Understand what I'm saying? So you're sitting here putting this information out. And to me, I mean, it might sell the book. It didn't make me any more interested because I'm like, you were faking it. And instead of him faking like he was pleased, he just simply went out and got something better
I
or
mean,
whatever that
it's
was going to satisfy him at the time. So neither one of you were satisfied.
I really want to go out on a limb and say guys know when it's being faked. They just don't care. What was
Mhm.
really more probably more appalling is the fact that she admitted to faking it and to millions of people. Now what's amazing is his facial expression kind of I'm a big facial expression person. And his facial expression kind of gave me the look like, I can't believe you said that, but I already knew it. It doesn't seem like it's something that he's heard for the first time. You
Mm.
know, and I don't. DJ Envy, like people got to understand, people don't cheat because of something. People cheat because of like needs. Like
Right. That weren't being satisfied. So neither one of them were being satisfied. And I just feel like that's got to be a awkward situation
he
to
probably
be in. So any advice, cuz you've been married for quite some time.
yeah, long time.
Yeah. And so funny question, because ideally, right, in a perfect marriage, you're with one person for a long time. You
Yeah,
20 plus. Um What advice would you give to young husbands in staying faithful, and or
I'm,
trying to stay as faithful as possible and still keeping the bedroom spicy?
I'm gonna tell you like this, young. Like if you and your girl don't got goals, it's not gonna work. I mean, like y'all need individual goals,
Mhm.
right? Because I think that's what a lot of people don't have when they get in relationships. The individual goals start to go, and the one thing about it is usually the one that is giving up their goals usually it's because they feel like it's a more unobtainable um, process, and they feel like if they help you support yours, then when you get what you're gonna get, you're gonna help them support them. But
Mhm.
the reality of it is, it can't happen like that. And if you work your life supporting someone to make sure that they reach their goals, they have to do everything in their power to maintain those goals that they have attained, and your goals will still fall short. So I tell everybody, keep your goals and maintain your alignment with yourself and stay true to yourself. And that's the real only way. A lot of stuff you get lost when you start down to yourself, down to yourself. It opens the door for any and everybody to pick you up, to big you up. And honestly, for men, a pat on the back is sometimes all a man needs to go smack. And I don't really know what a woman need to go smack, but I'm pretty sure once she start feeling a little, her insecurity levels start going down, her vulnerability level goes up. So
So security would be, I think security would kind of be
yeah,
it. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could understand how a woman would not tell her man, maybe in the first year, that he's not getting it right. But the fact that caught me was he said, no, yeah, he said during an argument, she said, "You don't even make me come." Now,
now I'm gonna
that,
tell y'all like this, y'all. As a married man that's been married a long time, I've heard that too. Ain't no married man that's been married a long time will not hear that.
mm,
And at some point in marriage, us men get to the point, and I think it's not just marriage. In long-standing relationships, us men get to the point where it's like, okay, it is now we need to have sex.
mm,
We need that. So it's like if you get to a point where you're not getting it, the need is still there. Now, you obviously, if you and your girl start having meet each other, y'all having sex every day, twice a month, 3 times a month. If that schedule changes, a guy's psychological mental breaks is telling me she cheating, somebody else is getting it, and you damn sure can't be a sexual deviant as a female and then turn the switch off because Lord knows your dude is done. You're done. You know what I'm saying? So it's real tricky because in the beginning of a relationship, people are having too much sex. If you want my honest opinion,
mhm.
not enough friend time and not enough knowing each other time, and that's why when sex gets bad or sour, they don't know how to act because it's only sustained on sex. I'll come over if we having sex. We can go out tonight if we having sex. We can hang if we having sex. It's like nothing no more is like, can we just
Chill.
chill? No
Mhm.
one just chills anymore. One of my
I'm
friends said to me, if I'm with a girl and we just chilling, that bitch lunching. I said, oh,
see. I think that's important when you're trying to build long-standing relationships. You have to have a vision to actually want to build that friendship, because when you're not having sex or when you can't have sex, then what are you doing? And I think that's how a lot of people, I've been hearing this a lot, is that when people have kids or when the woman is pregnant during that period when she can't have sex, it's like the men either don't know what to do, or things may happen, and that's because they're not used to just being a friend. Like, it's so now it's like, what I'm around you for, like,
a lot of women. I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of women use stuff. Pregnancy is an excuse to not have sex. But
mhm,
the reality of it is, you know, it's just about the respect for men that is no longer like it used to be. Like women don't admire men like they used to. They want to be admired without admiring. Like, hey, shit, y'all don't think men like to hear you look good too? Besides being some random dude that has to tell you, hey, you look good, babe. Oh, you look nice too. What? I
yeah.
mean, come on. Niggas don't hear that. Niggas don't hear that stuff no more. We gotta be real with it. But y'all already know. I hate to do this today, y'all, but I
Oh
gotta
shoot.
I gotta
Time flies when
I gotta
you
tell
having
y'all,
fun.
man. Like we're gonna pick up next week. We got a real good show next week. I'm gonna have real good content for y'all. I got a new Huffington Post coming too. Y'all,
Ooh wee.
Post coming, and it's
Mm,
gonna be pretty good. I'll be at the DMV this weekend, so y'all need to link up with me Saturday. Got a
definitely.
application listening party. If you want information and details on that, inbox me. I may hook you up with those. Now, what you got coming up, Tanya Cash?
My birthday is this Friday, so of course you guys know I will not be in town. Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss the album release party, but I'm sending lots of love to Face Lover. Um, I'll be in Houston, so first time in Houston, gotta check out that turkey leg hut. That's all I've been dreaming about. I've been on a kind of diet because I'm about to binge eat when I get down there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
You already know. If y'all don't know, y'all hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Y'all already know we'll be up here. I'll be back next Monday. Jezebel, will you be in town? Bye,
I
bye.
I will be back. I will definitely be back Sunday because I want to take my mother out for Mother's Day. So you guys show y'all mothers lots of love. Let them know y'all appreciate them, even y'all kids, mothers, whoever y'all wives.
Next time I'm now let me stop.
So yeah, definitely guys, and then be back on the Indie Wrestle next week. So you guys, yeah, just I don't know.
Yeah, hit
Smoke
it.
one for me. Take some shots for me. I'll be back
Like
Sunday.
what we
I'm gonna
did,
be
fall season.
at Big G's birthday finale in Virginia. Y'all already know I love my go go. So if y'all rocking with BYB, come party with me.
And next week we're gonna talk about Future's Go-Go line and his new album.
Oh, okay.
Well, at the time, y'all should already know now those J's should be down the roaches. You should be flicking those ashes off and throwing them in the ashtray and getting ready to roll up another one. Because I know I am. And peace out. Now,
Bye,
y'all
y'all.
9:05 because I'm about to interview. I got to interview a special guest here at 7. So y'all tune in on
Yes.
y'all already know all Google Play, all that cool stuff. Peace out.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, Six.
You know.